Alright, folks, so a while back I made a video making fun of, some Pokemon fans because I found out that there was a rumor that the music in the Lavender Town level was somehow triggering the teen suicide or child suicide rate in Japan to go up, and I kept pointing out how ridiculous that was and how dumb they were for believing that.
It's possible that we may have been correlating some things that weren't actually related at all.
Yeah, okay, I get where people didn't like that. So, but, I spent a long time, it's just kind of like, whoa, man, this is just too ridiculous. Like, they really thought that this was contributing to the suicide rate? It's like, I was like, for a long time, I was like, there's no way I can top that in terms of ridiculousness, right? There's nothing, you can't get more ridiculous than that. That's what I thought. Until September 24th, when I found out that this existed.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Pokemon, oh, you're my best friend. In a world we must defend. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Our hearts so true, our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you.
And don't get me wrong here, I'm not pointing this out because I disagree with what ICE is doing. I don't disagree with deporting illegal immigrants. I don't disagree with that. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not even offended, really. It's just like, the reason I'm pointing this out is because, it looks more like something an internet troll would make, but it wasn't. It was something that was like an official release from the Department of Homeland Security. They actually put their names in the video, and it's just like, are you being serious right now? What was that meeting like at the Department of Homeland Security, where they were like, we need a video that is patriotic, that shows the importance of getting illegals out of our country and the good we're doing in the world. I got it. Pokemon theme song. That's what we need. Am I the only one in the world left that's sane? Did I go to sleep one night and wake up in a world where everything's completely absurd? Did I get abducted by aliens and brought to a planet where everything resembles Earth society, but everyone's a complete fucking moron? When did the idiots take over? And yeah, I do get what they're going for. It's not that I don't understand the point of the video, it's that I kind of expected something a little more professional looking from the government. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. Maybe I'm the one that's wrong. Maybe I'm the one that sucks. So as you might have guessed, Nintendo did not sign off on this, and so there's a potential lawsuit coming. Okay, so a recent update I found recently, the legal chief at Nintendo is suggesting that they're not going to pursue legal action, which I can see where they wouldn't. It's not that unusual for people to choose not to file a lawsuit even though they are within their legal rights. A lot of companies or sometimes individuals will let things slide for no other reason than the amount that they'd be awarded isn't worth the cost of the lawsuit. That could be the case. Seeing as how the government is not really allowed to own copyrights on anything, there wouldn't really have been any monetary gains that they can claim belongs to Nintendo. I think they can still be awarded damages from penalties and stuff though. It may not even really be about money. There's lots of other reasons why it just isn't a practical use of Nintendo's resources. They've got video games, consoles they're releasing, they've got marketing, they've got an image. That's actually been what a lot of people are speculating too, is that they're saying they think Nintendo's not going to do it because they're a publicly shy kind of company, I guess. Not to mention, outside of people that are just really into strategy-based games, the target demographic for Pokemon would be little kids. You know, that can actually be a much more complicated demographic than you might think, because you're also marketing to their parents who buy it for them most cases. That's typically an age group that companies want to continue to remain brand loyal customers when they go into adulthood. It actually makes perfect sense that concern for their image is, driving some of their potential behavior as far as lawsuits are concerned. Yeah, because we all love, them trying to monopolize all the time. That's just, that's great for their image, right? That was my favorite part of Nintendo as a kid was, that they wanted to control the entire industry. They definitely stated publicly that they did not sign off on the use of their intellectual property like this to be used for this. Maybe Nintendo's legal team is anticipating that ICE and or the Department of Homeland Security are going to claim they made a derivative work, in the sense that they took another intellectual property and kind of repurposed it with other things for a larger work that painted it all in a very different light. They could be arguing that as well. A lot of people on social media, I've noticed too, try to claim fair use as a reason to reuse other things. And I'll just go and throw a disclaimer in here. I'm not a lawyer, but I do watch some lawyers on YouTube. And one of the ones I watched actually had a nice little PowerPoint showing that it actually does count as fair use. Like I mentioned earlier, it's government, they're not profiting from it. Nintendo is not competing in the marketplace against the government for this type of content. It's derivative. They didn't just sit here and play the whole intro. They just took bits and pieces in between footage of, illegal immigrants getting arrested as part of a larger work, showing it in a very different light. It's a parody. That's usually protected, according to this lawyer. And it hasn't really affected Nintendo's place in the market either. I made a neat little video a while back too. I know I keep referencing my own videos, where Nintendo had found a legal way to monopolize the video game industry in the 90s for a little while. I was not aware then that Nintendo is actually still trying to do this with the Switch and with a lot of the stuff people are doing with mods. I did not know they were still trying to do this. But in this case, it'll make it much more difficult for Nintendo. Lots of companies have unethical lawyers that will find loopholes to let people get away with all kinds of shit. But the government has a stronger advantage in that regard, because all their unethical lawyers are in Congress passing laws. And if they run out of money, they can always print more of it or vote to raise the borrowing limit and just borrow more. That's basically why we haven't defaulted or declared bankruptcy on our national debt, which is up to like $37 trillion now. Instead of paying it, they're just raising the amount they're allowed to borrow to avoid defaulting on it, is how they actually did that. For these reasons, filing lawsuits against the US government is insanely hard. Not to say that it can't be done successfully, but it's definitely going to raise some questions of resources you have available. Another interesting thing that I didn't know until today is that Japan is holding about $1 trillion of US Treasury bonds. It's not actually clear how much of that is used for corporate investments. It's not even really clear how much of it is even being held by Nintendo, although it seems pretty likely that a significant portion of it actually is. But people who have treasury bonds usually don't want the government printing money, because doing so will end up lowering the yields they stand to get when the bonds mature, when they cash them in or whatever. So for that reason, if the government started printing money for the sake of a lawsuit against Nintendo would very likely see the potential of significant losses in their investment income. So there's lots of practical reasons for why it would be a very good idea for Nintendo to pursue a lawsuit like this. Although they definitely did say that they did not give the government permission to use their intro like that. I know. I was shocked too when I found out Nintendo didn't endorse this video. So it seems that my rant from earlier has a happier ending. Nintendo did not reply to the government's stupidity with more stupidity by filing a lawsuit about it, but they're still dicks for trying to monopolize everything, though. They're still that.